Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So today I'm going to make a couple of different cards using Frames and Flowers DSP. And this has 6 sheets of pattern paper and 3 sheets of the die cut designs as well. And so I'm going to go through and just punch out all of these little pieces of ephemera. I think they're absolutely beautiful. And the Frames and Flowers is found on page 29 of your catalog. And when I was punching all of these out, I noticed that there were no like little hanging chads or anything extra. They punched out absolutely beautifully. And so what I think I'm going to start doing is storing all of these papers with their coordinating ephemera in a big envelope. That's the paper envelopes that I had that held 12 by 12 paper. And then there was a label on the package that said the name of the paper pack, all of the coordinating colors. And I'm going to keep that little label with all of these papers as well. So I cut off a piece of this first pattern at 5.5 inches long, and I'm going to be making a card. Now, I will let you know there is no specific pattern for this card. This is how I do some of my fun fold cards. A lot of times I follow a pattern. This one I just kind of played with till I found what I liked and figured out how much I wanted to show of each pattern. Like, I like the patterns both to show on a fun fold card. I think that's kind of the fun in the fun fold, right? So I tried to make sure that both sides would be showing, and I cut a pattern that could go on the inside of the card as well. And I used my Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer and that scoring blade that was on that trimmer as well. And when I make the inside layers, what I like to do is figure out the dimensions and then cut the inside paper to be about 1/4 inch smaller on the height and the width than the layer that I'm going to be putting it on. So that's how I determine where to make the cuts. I don't have a specific pattern, and I've already given away these cards, so I can't even go back and give you the dimensions, but I did like how it turned out, showing some patterns from each of the both sides of the paper. So then I take my ephemera and I'm trying to kind of dry fit and figure out what would look best on the front of the card. And this frame right here is like one of my absolute favorite. And there's little leaves and sprigs and there's little flowers and all sorts of things that I punched out. So I just kind of played with them and figured out which one I wanted. And then I came in with my stamp set called Unbounded Love, and it is in the catalog. And I will tell you this on page 54. I made a mistake. When I bought this stamp set, I only bought the stamps and I did not buy the dies. Now I'm kicking myself because these dies are like, they work well for the sentiments, but they are like great standard dies that you could use with lots of stamp sets. So yes, I've went back and ordered it, and I should have ordered it all together and saved myself money on that bundle. So that's what I would recommend, is go ahead and just get the bundle when you order it. So I came in, I don't have a huge selection of stamp pads yet, and I had ordered the Stampin Spots, and so Flirty Flamingo was not one of the colors on here, but there was so much going on in the patterns, and the Flirty Flamingo I thought still looked okay with some of the things that were going on in that little frame that I'm stamping it on. So I stamped a sentiment on the front, and I think it was you're a true blessing. And this card you could use for absolutely anybody, right? So I think I ended up using this as a Mother's Day card, and this was what I decided to stamp on it because I did not have a whole bunch of Stampin' Up! Sentiments for every occasion. So I added a little flower to the front. I added the sentiment just to that first fold, and not, I didn't put adhesive all over the back of the frame, just enough on that one layer. And then I'm going to go in and figure out some great ways to decorate it and some sprigs to add in, so it gives more dimension than just what is already pre-printed on the frame. So I just used a little bit of my multi-glue and stuck those on the front, kind of tucked it in behind those flowers, and I really like the extra dimension that it brings to the card. So I have been trying to learn all of the new Stampin' Up colors. I love the fun names that Stampin' Up has for the colors, because those names remind me of like the OPI nail polish colors. Like, it has fun names for all of the colors. So I've really been kind of enjoying that, actually. Okay, so now I'm coming in with another one of the pattern papers, DSPs, sorry, from Frames and Flowers. And I use that really dark, let me see, Pretty Peacock, I think, pattern paper for the base. And then I use the one with all of the flowers and sprigs, not so much flowers, more leaves and sprigs. I used that one on the front of it, and it made a really nice layer that I could put on the front, and they coordinated so beautifully. And then I just put this on the front of a standard A2 size white card base. And this card I'm going to make using the same sentiment that I used on the last card. So I'm going to look for some of the ephemera and great ways to decorate it, and I might even add something to the inside just to make that white a little bit more exciting. And then I found another frame. I think this one will work, and I want to add some more sprigs and flowers and things that can dress it up a little bit. And there was this long strip of pattern paper that I really liked, and I'm like trying to find a way that I can use it on my card. So I used it as a band that wrapped from the inside of the card around to the front of the card, and then where the pieces met together on the front, that's where I'm going to stick my sentiment on top of it on the front. So even, mine met up pretty good on the front, but even if it didn't match up perfectly, or if your piece was a little short and didn't come completely together, it wouldn't matter, because your frame's going to cover that up and nobody would be the wiser. Or if it overlaps a little bit extra, that's fine too. Wherever it meets, it does not have to be perfect. So I'm going to take this and stamp the exact same sentiment on the front, "You're a True Blessing," and add some of those decorative elements around it as well. So this is my first month as a Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm so excited, and I've been able to sign up 2 more new demonstrators. So my team continues to grow, which is very exciting. And the promotion for May is amazing. So whether you want to build a business, or you just want to do this as a hobby and you want to earn yourself a discount, if you have ever thought about joining a company and getting a discount and getting in on early previews and all of the fun things, this is one of the best promotions that Stampin' Up has ever offered. I thought that the Stampin' Up offer Too Close to My Heart Makers was awesome, and it absolutely was, and they have been so gracious and so welcoming. But the special that they have this month, I think it's just as good. So even if you are just somebody that wants to get your hands on all the new in colors, this is the way to do it, because the special is tremendous and you get free shipping. That's a great deal. So if you want more information about that, contact me it will only last until May 31st. So we are quickly approaching the end of the month. And if you want in on this deal, then you need to get a hold of me and we need to get you signed up right away. So here are my 2 cards, and it says "You're a true blessing" on the front of each one, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more crafty inspiration.